Welcome back to Hunter x Hunter Anime Review, special number 4. Yeah, this is definitely a welcome back one. The last one was just the start of a new series. Okay, this one I'm reviewing the 375th chapter for Hunter x Hunter. Wow, 375 chapters. Good job getting this far, despite the fact the series started 21 years ago. Yeah, if it hadn't been for the hiatuses, this series would have gotten to about 700 chapters by now. But the reason why, at this point in time, 21 years after the series started, the reason why I got this far in 21 years is because the writer keeps taking hiatuses. Though his last one was as long as his other ones taken over the years. His last one was only about 4 months, which, okay, fine. I'm glad it was that short. At least it wasn't 2.5 years. Okay. This one's called Persuasion, and I'll get to why it's called that in a minute. First, it starts off with Queen Tyson. That's really her name. Where it's like, what, love, love, love. And they're all trying to agree with her. And I think they're in this one room. Oh, yeah, and there's an advertisement for Volume 35, which is on sale in Japan. Here, I think they just released Volume 34 right now. Yes, I think 34, year 34, 35 just got released right now. I'm looking it up here because, let's see. There we go. Okay, now the newest chapter, the newest book that's been released here is in fact 34. 35 just came out in Japan, but as for when it's going to release here, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because when 34 came out, it was released exactly 1 year after 33 came out, so it just depends exactly when Viz Media finishes translating the book. It depends on when they're going to release it, because they just released it 35 and just in Japan, so it just depends exactly when when Viz Media is finished, releasing it. Yeah, it will depend upon them. Hopefully it doesn't take another year to release another volume, which is kind of dumb. Oh, I should point out, though, there is one character who's been frequently appearing in this particular arc for the last, I don't know, dozen or so chapters, and that's Kurapika. Is he in this chapter? No, he takes his chapter off. First time in a while. There are 2 characters I recognize in this whole chapter who do appear in it. Hanzo and Biscuit. Though Biscuit, this is the first time in a couple chapters I've seen her. But yeah, I'll get to them because it's just starting the chapter off. Okay. So, we'll talk about love, and then it shows off the guardian spirits of the princess. You have the second prince, Camilla, where her guardian spirit is she's a manipulator. Looks like a tree. Fifth prince, top is a beast. It looks like a giant frog. 7th piece, Lazarus. His guardian beast is a giant. Looks like a worm ant, maybe scorpion. Yeah. And we see one of the bodyguards there. There's more stuff, and then he takes a call to First Prince Benjamin. Yeah, he actually is in this book for a good long while before he gets to the familiar characters. He's in the book for the first half of the chapter, around the first half of the chapter. And then we finally cut to Hanzo, who apparently is in his bunk bed, and apparently he's sharing a room with Biscuit. Though, looking at her, you can't tell this is Biscuit until she puts her hair up. But yeah, it's Biscuit. I mean, the way that Tagashi draws it, she looks like she's in her, I don't know, mid-teens, even though she's pushing 60. Yeah, and they go meet with this guy, this jerk, basically from the last chapter, where he talks to where Hanzo and Biscuit telling about Nin, he doesn't believe Nin exists until Biscuit goes to her true form, this giant muscular form, and then he's like, wow, she's gorgeous. Yeah, he's like, I can't believe how could someone so beautiful exist. Yeah, he's so intimidated by Biscuit. Like when I saw this, because I just read this not too long ago, um, I was surprised to see this, but I knew Biscuit could do this because I had just recently watched the 1999 version of Hunter x Hunter, so I wasn't surprised that she can do this, but I was surprised she did this now because it has been a long time since she's done this in the manga. The last time I could think of she did this was during the Chimera Ant arc, when she basically had a sparring match with Killua. Yep. And because he's so intimidated by her form, it's like, okay, Nen exists, so okay, teach me Nen directly. And she's like, and she has that affection on her, she has that smile on her face, like, sure, fine. And she tells like the guard shifts and suddenly Verita go to room 1014 as planned. That's what he says, and goes to the room. He walks out, nobody there, and tells him not to go. And of course, he wants to go himself to check see what's going on. And Biscuit tells him, "Don't go in." Well, basically, by dialogue, just don't go in to see if anything changes. He goes into the room. Everything seems normal. He tries to leave, and part of his arm disappears. So Nen is affected this one room. Yep. So apparently they just cannot hear him. Also, it's also mentioned that at one point in the chapter that, oh yeah, our voyage has just begun. Because the voyage has been going on for 2 days now, and this arc has been going on now for almost exactly 30 chapters. Yeah, almost 30 chapters this has been going on for. It's been going on for at least for 26 chapters. Because it started with 350, and now we're on chapter 365. I think, as far as I can tell, this arc has been going on publication-wise, probably for about 3 to 4 years. But yeah, this has actually been a better chapter than when we had the past few chapters. It doesn't proceed the same pace the last one was, because I kind of felt as though the phone conversation Karapika had with this bodyguard dragged on for loot. In fact, dragged on for like 4.5 pages. Seriously, why the heck would you have a phone conversation that lasts that long and ton of dialogue? But this overall was an improvement over the last few chapters we've had, but there is definitely a mirror moment in this whole chapter. Biscuit going to her true form. And apparently this bodyguard falling in love with her right that instant. That's what's kind of implying. Yep. So, yeah. It's a good chapter. So, since this is an improvement over the last chapter because something really big happens, because it seemed like the last few chapters, not a lot of really big stuff happens in a way. I mean, the biggest thing that happened, aside from the return of the Phantom Troop in 371, was the Second Vince Commander basically trying to shoot up the place. I believe that was in like a couple chapters back, but last chapter, it kind of felt as though that it was moving at a snail's pace and not much was happening. Not at all. Though happened the ending, I think, like revealing those coffins that had in the last chapter. Yeah, this chapter doesn't bring it up at all. They may bring it up in the next chapter, but who knows? But it's surprising though Karapika is actually absent from this chapter. Yeah, because he's kind of been the main character this whole chapter, with Hanzo and Biscuit being the main characters of the entire arc. But yeah, good chapter. Unlike, I forgot to give last week's chapter a rate. I forgot that one a 7.75 out of 10. This one I'm gonna give an 8.5 out of 10 because this was just an improvement over the last week's chapter. Oh, unlike last week where not much happened, except lots and lots of talking, this one, despite having talking, it kind of felt like that this plot was moving forward a little bit, not much, but it felt like moving forward. All right. So. Excuse me. So that's it for this particular one. Stay tuned next week where I review the 376th chapter. Oh, also, as far as I can tell, I'm looking at the last page. It does not say it's going to be on break again. So, yeah. Also kind of looks like with the last panel, oh, yeah, it says like training Emperor Nen. That's going to be interesting. But where the heck is the ship? I mean, did it disappear or something like that? I don't know. It's really bizarre. It's kind of an odd ending per se, but I'm kind of like, where the heck is Karapika? Seriously, where the heck was he this whole chapter? Because there's no explanation. Now, he's referenced once this whole chapter, but he's absent for some reason. I don't know why though. Also, the Phantom Troop has not been seen in like 4 chapters. I mean, last time I checked, they're on the lower decks of the ship, but how come it's like they just don't want to show them for some reason. I don't know why Takashi would want to do that, but who knows? Who knows what happened in the next chapter? Maybe something big will happen. This one, this is just my opinion. Basically going through true form again. That is why I feel the most memorable moment of this whole chapter. Yep. So, until I see you all next week for special number 5, where I review chapter 376, I will see you all there in that review. Bye.